Hello students, today I am going to start with the civics chapter, that is the Union Parliament. But before we start the chapter, we need to understand the function and the working of our government. Now, to understand the function or the working of the government, we need to understand the organs of the government, that is legislative, executive and judiciary. Legislative is the place where laws are being made. Legislative is derived actually from the word legislate, where it means to make the laws. Executive is the organ of the government which actually execute the laws which are made in the parliament, or the laws which are legislated, that is executed by the executive. Judiciary, as the word suggests to us, it is derived from the word justice, a place where justice is provided. So are all the courts, whether it's Supreme Court, High Court and Subordinate Court, comes under the judiciary, because that is the place where justice is being provided to us. Alright, now we'll start with the Union Legislature. The Union Legislature is also known as Parliament. The Parliament consists of three things, that is President and the two houses, that is the Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha. Now you must be wondering, whenever we talk about Parliament, we only hear about two houses, that is the Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha. But children, here I will notify you that basically there are the three components of Parliament that consist of both the houses, that is the Lok Sabha, Rajya Sabha, as well as the President of India. So do remember this, because this question is asked usually in the boards. Name the three components of the Parliament, or the Parliament is consisted of. So you have to write all the three names. Then the members of both the houses is known as MPs, or Member of Parliament. The Parliament has to meet at least twice in a year. That means in every 6 months the Parliament has to meet. That is the minimum number of time when Parliament can or Parliament have to meet. That is the minimum time duration is of 6 months. This is again is important. This again is asked in board examination, so remember this also. Now we'll discuss the legislature in detail. So we have got two types of legislature in our country, that is the union legislature, or we call it as the central legislature, and state legislature. So union and state legislature. Union legislature consists of two houses, that is Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha. Similarly, state legislature also has two houses, Vidhan Sabha and Vidhan Parishad. Now we will see Lok Sabha first. Lok Sabha. Lok means people. In Hindi, if we translate, Lok means people. So therefore, we also call it as the House of People. Similarly, Rajya Sabha. Raj, if we translate, that means state. So therefore, we also call it as the Council of State. Lok Sabha is also known as lower house, whereas Rajya Sabha is also known as upper house. Now if we'll see the state legislature, in which Vidhan means legislative, and if we translate Sabha, that means assembly, and if we translate Parishad, that means council. So therefore legislative assembly and legislative council. Now if we talk about the function of Lok Sabha and Vidhan Sabha, so at union level Lok Sabha and at the center state level Vidhan Sabha, the function of both the houses are almost same, or rather I would say the appointment procedure, removal procedure, or some of the functions are almost same of Lok Sabha and Vidhan Sabha. The work which is done by the Lok Sabha at the center level almost same. I will not say exactly same, but almost same. It functions similarly to the state level by the Vidhan Sabha. Now comes the Rajya Sabha. Whatever work is done by Rajya Sabha, again that work is repeated by the Vidhan Parishad, or we can say as Lok Sabha and Vidhan Sabha are quite similar. Similarly, Rajya Sabha and Vidhan Parishad are quite similar to each other, right? So therefore, this is the way of functioning which we see in union as well as in state legislature. Now we'll discuss Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha in detail. As I have told you before also, Lok Sabha is also known as House of People as well as Lower House. Now the question arises that why Lok Sabha, where the people is concerned, why it is known as the Lower House? It is because the Lok Sabha can be dissolved. So here dissolution or dissolving means that if a vote of no confidence is passed against the Lok Sabha or against the ruling government, then the government has to resign. Again, this we'll discuss in detail in later part of the video, but just now you understand that Lok Sabha is known as lower house because it cannot be dissolved. Rajya Sabha again is known as the Council of States as well as the upper house. Why upper house? Because it is a permanent house which cannot be dissolved, which cannot be dissolved like Lok Sabha. So this is the major difference between Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha. Lok Sabha can be dissolved and Rajya Sabha cannot be dissolved. So this is again important question, because sometimes in boards it is asked that why Rajya Sabha is known as the permanent house. So answer would be because it cannot be dissolved. The tenure of Lok Sabha, that is for 5 years, and for Rajya Sabha 6 years. Now conditions with Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha both is applicable over here. In Lok Sabha, though it is appointed for 5 years, but it can be dissolved, as I have told you, dissolved before than the 5 years if the vote of no confidence is passed. And the other condition of Rajya Sabha is the tenure of 6 years, and the condition with that is that 1/3 of its member retires every after 2 years. Now both the points we'll be discussing in detail, how and where and why it takes place. Now, vote of confidence, as I have told you, that a vote of confidence is a vote in which members of a group are asked to indicate that they do not support the person or group in power, usually the government. So now if we take an example of a ruling government, that is the ruling party at right now is BJP. So if the member of the parliament they propose that they are not supporting or they are not able to rule the government properly, and they pass a vote of no confidence against the ruling government, in such a case the ruling government has to resign. So BJP had to resign if people of the parliament will have no confidence left in the ruling party. Then who proposes the vote of no confidence? So obviously if ruling party is there, so the opposition party will definitely propose the vote of no confidence. So this is the vote of no confidence, due to which we have seen that the tenure of Lok Sabha is not fixed, and therefore it can be dissolved, and it is known as the lower house. Now for Rajya Sabha, as I have told you, it works for the 6 years, but 1/3 of its member retires every after 2 years. Now, the members of the Rajya Sabha sit for a staggered term. Staggered term or staggered tenure. Now, what is staggered tenure or staggered term? It is an election where only some of the places in an elected body are up for election at the same time. For example, United States senators have a 6-year term, but they are not all elected at the same time. Rather, elections are held every 2 years for 1/3 of the Senate seats. So, same is applicable in our country also, that all the members, unlike Lok Sabha, it's not like the Lok Sabha, Rajya Sabha is quite different from the Lok Sabha. So, unlike the Lok Sabha, in Rajya Sabha, all the members are not appointed together. Therefore, they are also not removed together, and the time which is used to for the removal, that is that every after 2 year 1/3 of its member retire. That means rest of the members will stay in the house, and it cannot they cannot be removed altogether, because it is a permanent house, and therefore all the members of the Rajya Sabha cannot be removed altogether. Now, how to understand this particular thing? Like, if we take a simple example of our school, that all the teachers of the school cannot retire at the same time. Definitely, because the appointment date of appointment of the teachers or age will be the factor of the retirement, right? So it differs from person to person. Similarly, over here in Rajya Sabha also, as they are appointed for the particular time period in a different at different time, so therefore the tenure also completes at different time. So therefore we have 1/3 of its member retiring every after 2 years. Now, some points are there which I want you all to notice about Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha. The term of the Lok Sabha can be extended by the Parliament for 1 year at a time of emergency. So, though the tenure of the Lok Sabha is for 5 years, but it can be extended up to 1 year in the case of an emergency. As you know, there are the 3 types of emergency in our country: national emergency, state emergency, and financial emergency. So, under any condition, if during the emergency we are not able to have the election of Lok Sabha, so therefore the tenure can be extended up to 1 year. But this extension is for a period of not more than 1 year at a time, and no limit on the numbers of the time in the constitution. So, we can extend the tenure of the Lok Sabha only for 1 year. But if in case within that year, if election was not able to take place due to an emergency is still existing, it is not lifted up, then it could be extended. The tenure of the Lok Sabha could be extended again for an year. But what is the other condition? If such extension shall remain in force, if extension is still going on and for not more than 6 months after the emergency has been revoked. So extension can be extended for an year till the emergency is there, and as soon as emergency is lifted or it comes to an end, emergency comes to an end, then within the 6 months the fresh elections have to be held. I repeat whole of the concept. Lok Sabha is there for 5 years, but it can be dissolved. Therefore, it is known as the lower house. Now, there is the special condition for 5 years. During an emergency, it could be extended for an year. It could extend 1 more year or more than 1 more year if emergency still exists. But if the emergency came to an end or it is lifted, in such a case, within the 6 months, immediately election has to take place so that the new ruling government can take its position. Now about Rajya Sabha. During an emergency, tenure of Rajya Sabha cannot be extended. We cannot extend the tenure of Rajya Sabha. Why? Because if you remember, Rajya Sabha is a permanent house and it cannot be dissolved. Now regarding the qualifications of Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha, now children, I want you all to make this a point that all the qualifications of Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha are same except than the age criteria. And the age criteria, what is the difference in that? A member, if you want to be the member of the Lok Sabha, your minimum age criteria should be of 25 years of age, whereas in Rajya Sabha it requires 30 years of age. I repeat, minimum age requirement for Lok Sabha 25 and minimum age requirement for Rajya Sabha 30 years. Apart from these age criteria, the other qualification which is required for Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha are that the person should be an Indian citizen, he should not hold any office of profit under the government. So as you can see, I have already highlighted the term office of profit, which is very, very important. What is office of profit? Office of profit is a position that brings to the person holding it some financial gain or advantage or benefit. So, if you are doing any particular job or particular work more than one place for which you are getting financial support or for which you are getting your salary, so that comes under the office of profit. For an example, if I am working for the government, so definitely at the same time I cannot work for some other workplace also. So if I am drawing the salary for both the work, that comes under the office of profit. Now next point, he should have his name in the electoral roll in some part of the country. So if he or she wants to be elected in Lok Sabha or Rajya Sabha, so his or her name should be there in the electoral roll in any part of the country. Now what is electoral roll? Electoral roll is related to elections. You must have studied in class 9. It is a list in which the name of the electorals are listed. So, or rather we could say that those who are eligible to cast the vote during the elections. The next point, the person should not be insolvent. What is insolvent? A person who is unable to pay debt own. A person who is not able to repay its debt, whatever things he has taken, whatever money he has taken by somebody else, or if he has borrowed anything from somebody else. So in such a case, a person cannot contest the election. So here if I am talking about money, or if I am talking about things, that doesn't mean a small pencil or something like that. It is not so. It's a amount which is being taken. Then he should not be a proclaimed criminal, as well as he should not be of unsound mind. Now, the disqualification of membership of Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha, under which conditions members of Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha can be disqualified. The Constitution of India has provided, as per the Article 102, that the member of Parliament will be disqualified if they hold any office of profit, which we have discussed just now. A person should not hold two government posts or two salaried posts together under the union or the state government, except that of a minister or any other office exempted by the parliament. Until and unless it is exempted by the parliament, a person cannot hold two government posts together. Then next, if he is of unsound mind and stands so declared by a court, If a court has declared that the person is not mentally sound, or some problem is there, mentally he is challenged, or some problem he is facing emotionally or mentally, in such a case, if it is declared by the court, in such a case person will be disqualified. If he is an undischarged insolvent. Undischarged means a person who has submitted a bankruptcy petition to the court of law, whose debts are still being assessed by the court. If a person has become bankrupt, insolvent, you remember? So if a person has become bankrupt, in such a case person will be disqualified. Then if he is not a citizen of India, or he has voluntarily acquired, or if later on he has acquired the citizenship of a foreign state. Why? Because in India we have single citizenship, not the dual citizenship, unlike the United States of America. In United States of America they have dual citizenship, but in India we have single citizenship, which means a person can be the citizen of only one country. Then he is disqualified by or under any law made by the parliament. In any of the above condition, if the precedent decision in accordance with the opinion of election commission shall be final. So total or final decision will be taken by the president, but with the help of election commission of India. Now we will discuss the composition of Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha. So first we will see the composition. The total members which are there in Lok Sabha are 552, which is the maximum number of seats which we have in Lok Sabha. It could be less than that, okay? So but maximum it could be 552, which is now fixed. So two type of candidates we have in this number of seats. One is elected member and the other is the nominated member. So how we see elected member? 530 members are elected from the states and 20 members are elected from the union territories. Whereas in nominated we find that two people are nominated from the Anglo-Indian community by the president. Remember this, in children, again important. This is again frequently asked in board's examination, that how many members are nominated in Lok Sabha? 2 members. What is the criteria of the nomination? That they should belong to the Anglo-Indian community. Who nominates them? The president nominates the members of the Anglo-Indian community to the Lok Sabha. So that is the composition of the Lok Sabha. So remember, elected members, nominated members. In elected, 530 from states, 20 from union territories. And in nomination, 2 members are nominated by the president from Anglo-Indian community. Now one more thing I want you all to tell you, children, that it is not mandatory that these 2 people will be nominated by the president. If out of these 550 members, if already these 2 members are there in the elected members, then this nomination will not be there. But if out of 550 members, if Anglo-Indian community is not represented, then the nomination will be done by the President of India. Now next, composition of Rajya Sabha. Here again the maximum strength is of 250. It could be less than that also. Again, elected and nominated members, 238 members are elected from the state in Rajya Sabha, and for nomination we have 12 members. Who nominates? Again, the President of India. So in Lok Sabha also President is nominating, and in Rajya Sabha also nomination is done by the president, but here the criteria of nomination is different. Here the people from the various field are nominated, like people those who have got the fame name in various fields such as literature, science, art, social service, right? And how many people are nominated? 12 people are nominated by the president of India. At present, if we talk about the how many members are there in Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha, at present there are 543 members in Lok Sabha. And if we recall how many maximum strength, what can be the maximum strength of Lok Sabha? It could be 552. But right now we are having 543 members in Lok Sabha and 245 in Rajya Sabha. What was the maximum strength of Rajya Sabha? That was 250. So here in Lok Sabha, 5 out of 552, 543 are there, and in Rajya Sabha out of 250, 245 members are there at present. Now about the leaders or the presiding officers of Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha. Lok Sabha is presided by the Speaker, its name of an official post, Speaker, and Rajya Sabha is presided by the Chairman. So the name of the post is Speaker, and for Rajya Sabha it is the Chairman. Now again one thing is there which I would define over here, that Chairman of Rajya Sabha always will be the Vice President of India. Whosoever will be the Vice President of India will be the chairperson or chairman of the Rajya Sabha. But in Speaker it will not be so. In Lok Sabha it will not be so. Speaker is elected in Lok Sabha. But in Rajya Sabha election is not taking place for the chairman. Why? Because it is already elected as the Vice President of India. So at present, who is the presiding officer of Lok Sabha? Om Birla he is the Speaker of Lok Sabha, and as we know, the Vice President of India is Mr. Venkaiah Naidu. He is also the chairman of the Rajya Sabha. In absence of these presiding officer, if Speaker is not there, so the Lok Sabha will be under the charge or under control of Deputy Speaker, and in absence of Chairman or Vice President of India, it will be handled by the Rajya Sabha will be handled by the Deputy Chairman. So with this I conclude this video, children. In next video I will be discussing about the role and function of the Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha presiding officer, that is the Speaker and Chairman.